Okay, Tom Brew.
Hey, Trayce, we've talked a lot through the course of the season about your leadership role on this team and such. But I was curious, when you kind of need a little push and a little bump, where are you getting it from?
Usually I get it from anybody, honestly. I'll get it from Armand. I'll get it from Al. I'll get it from Race. We all lift each other up. I don't think there's one distinct leader on our team. I think we all help lead each other in certain areas, honestly.
Alex.
Trayce, Archie talked just a little bit ago about fatigue and maybe how it factors in defensively, and basically said that, you guys are going to have to continue playing major minutes. How do you maybe figure some of those fatigue issues out later in games that has been contributing to maybe some of the defensive lapses? And is that something you guys have talked about needing to kind of fight through and find another gear late in games?
Most definitely. I think it comes down to just being locked in. I think practice was a big key to it. We were practicing probably 2 hours and 30 minutes. We cut that down a little bit, focus more on just distinct things instead of just going at it and going against each other. But at the same time, we just got to be locked in, especially those last 8 minutes of the game. He's really talked about that. We've been really good. The 30, 34, 32-minute mark, and then the last 8 minutes is when teams start to get going and start scoring. So that's a big key for us and make sure we're staying locked in.
Alec.
Hey, Trayce. Coach Miller talked a little bit about the importance of Jordan Geronimo moving forward, especially now with kind of knowing exactly, what you don't have from Joey Brunk. But how has he kind of developed from the start of the season, and how can he really help you on not only the defensive end but the offensive end with the front court depth?
Really with Jordan, he brings a great depth to our team, especially in the Illinois game. You saw him get rebounds, you saw him block shots, and then get a three. So he really just brings some versatility to the forward position. And he's long enough to help on screens and block shots. So he's a really big key for us, honestly. And then his rebounding is going to be really big for us as well.
Caleb.
Kind of going back to your leadership role and everything, how have you felt you've improved from where you wanted to start at the beginning of the year throughout the beginning of Big Ten play? And where do you think you still want to kind of play as a leader for this game?
I lost you at the end there. You just repeat the whole question, honestly.
Yeah, so early in the season, and you've talked about a lot, just wanting to be a leader for this team. Where do you think you've improved the most since the beginning of the year? And then going forward, where do you still see yourself needing to improve for the team going forward?
I think where I've improved a lot is honestly in the locker room. I think I have a bigger voice in the locker room, especially when things aren't going well. I'm not afraid to voice my opinion and what needs to be said. But at the same time, holding myself accountable and making mental lapses is something I need to work on. Just staying locked in 100% of the time, because if I'm going to say something to my teammate, I got to hold myself accountable for doing the right thing every time. So that's probably the biggest thing that I've been working on.
Zach.
Trayce kind of talked about it from a different direction just a minute ago, but you started most of last season next to Joey. I know obviously you guys work out together, kind of in the off season away from the season. I mean, just not to be a downer, but just what do you guys miss when you don't have him, in terms of, I know Coach said it's not out of the question that he can return this year after his procedure last week, but just what do you feel like you guys miss when he's not in that rotation for you, whether it's as a starter, reserve, whatever it is?
Big thing with Joey is just the energy that he brings. He's teammate all the time. He's bringing energy on the floor. He's playing as hard as he can, and he's trying to lift up our team at all times. So that's really big for us. Even him out on the bench, he's really just vocal. He's always talking to us, telling me what he sees out there on the floor. But that last game, these next few games coming up, he's not going to be there. So we're really missing a big piece from him. But our teammates just going to have to up our levels and bring the energy ourselves, honestly. So.
Dustin.
Trayce, I wanted to go back to that point about leadership. I imagine you've been asked a lot about that by a lot of these guys, but when did that kind of click over for you? And what are some things maybe that you would say in the locker room now that you wouldn't have said a year ago?
I think the big thing is last year, I really just didn't think I had that responsibility yet. I was a kind of a new guy on campus. I wasn't I wouldn't consider myself like the top dog on the team. And so now being able to voice my opinion better, because we had seniors last year and I really didn't know the flow or the offense or any of that stuff, so I really didn't know what to say or how to say it. I think Joey was the same way. We talked about it. This year, we're allowed to, I think we speak our minds more, especially because everyone likes each other and everyone respects what the other person has to say. And then things I say in the locker room, they're not really mean. They're not really they're just basically pick it up, pick us up. We always talk about the next game, but obviously winning games, especially close games, are big for us. So we can't always be about the next game. We got to be about this game and win these games. So that's basically it.
Last question, Tyler.
Trayce, after the Florida State game, you said that you thought the team could be different. Can you kind of explain what you meant by that and what makes you think that?
I think our team, Coach Miller has been talking about it a lot. No one has seen our team play firing on all cylinders and playing our best basketball. And we're still sticking with these top 25 teams. I mean, all of our losses come from top 25 teams, besides outside of Texas. But every other game has been relatively close. And we still haven't been able to fire on all cylinders and play our best basketball. So that's what really makes us special about us. But at the same time, that's why we need to be locked in and be engaged at all times. So that's what I meant about this team being special, is that no one has really seen us play our best basketball yet. And so once that happens and once it starts clicking for us, I think we're going to be really tough to beat.
All right, guys. Thank you much. We'll see you tomorrow.